All right, so someone asked how to make a 6-inch cylinder, and some of that just boils down to having enough clay for whatever your skill set is. So I am going to use 2 pounds of clay. I think I should easily be able to get to 6 inches with that, but you might, if you're newer to clay, you might need 2.5 pounds. I think 3 pounds would be overkill. And then the second part, which we'll talk about in a minute. So this is all centered. This is 2 pounds of clay. The second part will be gathering that clay. So we'll talk about that when we get to that point. So the first thing I'm gonna do is open. One thing that I notice is sometimes when people are trying to make tall pots, they still make their opening wide. And I always tell people you can either use your clay in height or you can use your clay in width. And so if you're gonna make a really wide cylinder that's 6 inches, you would need more clay, like probably 3.5 pounds. So, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make my opening. I'm pushing with my middle finger. And I always open at an angle. It helps me keep it on center. You can actually see I'm pushing from here to here, but I'm leading with my finger point. And then now I have to decide if I want a flat bottom or a curved bottom. Like, am I gonna make a belly or is this gonna be rather straight? So I'm just gonna make this flat in the base. Now, because I gather my clay right here, my opening right here is going to get smaller. That is just something that happens for me, but it didn't start happening. I'm just compressing right now. It didn't start happening until I got really good at gathering the clay down here. So if your base gets narrow every time you pull, you know that you're doing a really good gather. Okay, so if I'm making a cylinder, if I was making a bowl, I would not collar this, but because I'm making a cylinder, I am gonna collar. So I got the heels of my hands, I'm collaring in. Just on the top, not down here. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and make a cylinder. So let's use this ruler to see how tall we are right now. This is a shrink ruler and I'm using the 12%. And right now we're only at 2 inches tall after it shrinks. So here's the thing, if you make a cylinder today that's 6 inches tall on a real ruler, which we have a video talking about shrink rulers, but if you make a cylinder today that's 6 inches, when it comes out of the kiln, it's not gonna be 6 inches anymore, it will have shrunk. So these rulers will help you get a cylinder that's gonna be 6 inches after you're done. If you've never heard of them, we have a video that talks about it. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my 2 middle fingers, okay? This is how and I'm pushing down on the wheel head and traveling in pretty nice and aggressively. I'm gonna ease my pressure away. Do you see how I've just created this little notch right here? And now I'm gonna be able to get underneath that and lift it up. If I don't create that notch, I just end up trimming that clay away and I don't get as much height. All right, another thing about getting a taller cylinder is don't be in a hurry when you're doing this pull, okay?